Good afternoon and welcome. Judy Hansen here with our third block of the month in our Tropical Paradise series. And today we'll be doing two blocks. We'll be doing Hannah's Hut and we'll be doing the sailboat. And what's really exciting about today's blocks is we're going to introduce some new products. And I, for one, have been told by so many people that have done my block of the months that it's great when you learn a new product. You've got somebody kind of holding your hand and making sure that you use it correctly. Okay, so today in your book, you probably have gotten your blocks by now. When you take them out of your bag, I do put two in one bag. And in your block this month, you're going to have a separator, a little baggie that has some additional products in there. You're also getting your free gift. And your free gift this month is a Frixion pen. We're going to show you how to mark with that. It's an iron away pen, so it's really cool. All right, so be careful when you take your blocks out. This side is all of your sailboat, and this side is going to be all of your hut. Okay, so let's talk about some new products first. The first one I want to talk about is the Frixion Pen. And the Frixion Pen probably came out about 5 years ago, and what is really neat about it, it does iron off. Now, some people complain that it leaves a white mark. So if you're one of those people that have heard that, I agree. It does seem to leave a white mark. So what you can do instead is just use it where it's not going to be in your final block. So for instance, one of the things you need to be sure you're doing when you're adding applique pieces is that you're putting them within the block finished size. So I'm always very generous with your fabric to explain. So this block right now is probably the finished size. And you can note in your book, if Angie can get in kind of a close-up here. Underneath all your blocks, it shows the finished size. That means the size with a 1/2 inch seam allowance and you're ready to go in your finished quilt. And then when it's in your quilt, it will be, for example, this one will be 6 by 12 in the finished quilt. Okay, so when you want to begin putting your pieces on, try laying, this ruler happens to be, excuse me, your finished size of 6.5, but unfinished, I'm sorry, 6.5 by 12.5, and I've gone and I've drawn with my Frixion pen a line right around it. And now I'm going to make sure that all my pieces fit inside of that. You can also use, now you're all getting one of these today. I think some are red, some are black. And you're getting those today. And so go ahead and use it. When you're ready to square up your block, that will actually be the line that you cut away on. One of the things you'll find that you're going to do is, don't do it now. You can stitch on that line to kind of hold it, but it's a long way off and you're going to be playing with these blocks. So I'm not going to trim it up any more than this for right now. Okay, so let's talk about the block itself and the construction of it. So once you see where your patterns are and what they look like, kind of read through your directions. And then you're going to turn to your applique pieces. Now we've been using Heat and Bond Light. I gave you a package as your free gift the first month. If you need more, just let me know and I can ship that out to you. So it comes in a package like this, Heat and Bond Light. Today we're going to introduce you to Heat and Bond Heavy or Ultra. Very, very different product. When you use this, this is for dimensional work, and one of the fun things we're going to do with this quilt is to have some dimension to it. So let me show you how it works. You can actually research it a little bit. There's a lady named Joan Shea who actually makes flowers out of this. I understand she's retired, but she just used to make the most amazing products. So while I'm getting that iron heated up here, I've got my pieces all fused and ready to go. I've drawn my lines, and now I have that all ready to cut out. Remember to prepare your fabric, and I made a note in your packages today. You're going to prepare your fabric. You can swish this in the sink, whatever is easiest for you, or I put a little steam in my iron here, steam it on both sides, No, you don't want to use anything like a best press or anything like that when you're fusing either. All right, you've got your windows. We've got those ready. I've got my little hut. I've got those ready. I've got all my little pieces here. It's kind of like when you were a kid. I think that maybe is one reason I like quilting so much. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I could play with my toys. Okay, so Heat and Bond Ultra. You're getting a piece, and I actually took the time to write on every single piece, Ultra, 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 because I don't want you to mix it up. Okay, so we have a roof in here. And you know, just a reminder, when you're laying out your pattern and you're tracing everything, make a note of what it is. That way you can just kind of go on autopilot, and I find it's easier that way. You don't have to think so much. And if you have them all marked by color, you can just take this. I've got my roof and I've got my steps here, and then I've got my yellow all here. I've got my pink door, so I can cut them out separately. Easy to go. My roof all matches. Okay. Okay, Heat and Bond Ultra. It's heavier, so you can see, and it doesn't say it all over it, so I make sure whenever I've used a different product, it doesn't really feel different. It doesn't really feel different when it's out of the package, but it feels very different once it's fused. So I kind of make sure I keep them in the same package. All right, we're going to do some cool dimensional things to the roof. So you're going to take and you're going to fuse your brown piece on, just like it says. And you know, I kind of eyeballed this one. It wasn't as hard as when you did the heron. So you're going to take your piece. You've got your piece of fabric like this. You're going to, and I've cut it 7 by 7. You're going to fold it in half. And I've already steamed it, made sure I did that really well. And then I also did your piece like this. Now, it says on there, Ultra, 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 Ultra. Now I'm going to take this, and see I've got that fold right there. I'm going to lay this right on that fold. And I'm going, remember how we do, you do apply it just like you do the other. Little circles. You'll see the fabric start to change colors. Little circles. Now we have to let it cool. So how was your weekend? So I hope you have fun doing the block. Oh, I should have my pressing sheet on there. Bad, Judy, bad. All right, so now I'm gonna let that cool. Isn't that mad? If you've gotten any of these mats, a couple of the ladies got the huge ones. And all right, so I'm gonna let that cool. I've got my scissors here. Usually I would cut this away, but you do want to cut away any of your fusible so it doesn't stick there. Now this is going to be something we call double fusing. So Heat and Bond. You want to pay attention if this is the first time. All right, now I'm going to score it. You don't have to be that gentle. And when you score it, see how it cracks? It's going to come right off. This is worth the price of admission today, right? If you've never used this. Okay, can you kind of see one side shiny and one side isn't? All right, now I'm going to take this, fold it over, and that's got the glue exposed. I'm going to fold it over, and now I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to do little circles. Kind of take my time. I think the directions say 3 seconds. All right. Okay. Then, if you look in your paper, whoops. If you look in your paper, you've got a little tiny pattern here. Can you see this? This is your third product today we've included. It's something called a template plastic. All right, so I'm going to trace that with a felt tip pen. Then I'm going to cut it out, okay? Now you're probably going to, you could probably do this with a black felt tip pen. It'd be a little hard to see, or you can use a white. You know, if you do anything with watercolor pencils or even your grandkids' pencils, you can use a white on this. All right, so I'm going to trace 3 of those. You've got plenty of fabric. You ready? How cute these are going to be. And then they're going to come out like this. And we're going to do 3 of those. And all I did was kind of overlap them, if you can see. And I'm going to show you how I attached them. This is red, but I'll show you. I just did a little stitch just right down the center. So these are all loose. Now watch what happens. That's so cool. You're going to take it like this. We're going to heat one of them up. And do it gingerly because your fingers are good. And you can hold it and it'll hold that shape. And it'll stay like that until you iron it and take it out. One last thing I want to show you on this, though, is when you fuse this on, in your directions here, it says to cut this away. Don't cut those away. That would be if we wanted the blue to shine through. Remember, I'm doing a deeper, richer color on these. I don't want that blue to shine through. So what I want you to do is just take and cut out your windows and put them on. Got it? One more thing. When you attach this, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this because we're doing the same technique on your sailboat, you're going to overlap a little fusible piece here and attach it. Okay, come back in a few minutes and we'll have the sailboat. Thanks. Bye.